It's time once again for our chat with the Chief, and the Chief today is Patrick Foley, Chief of Robbinsdale Police Department. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Thanks for spending some time. I'm very good. We want to talk about some of the things happening in the police department, some events, and also some staffing changes. Let's start there. Tell us a little bit about your efforts for staff related to the community and community engagement.
Well, great question. So, since I've been a Chief of Police, we took a role which was a Police Community Action Coordinator position, and we changed that into a Community Engagement Officer. Some of the roles from the Police Community Action Coordinator will remain the same with this new role. However, community engagement is now the next big piece for this new officer. So we do have a new officer in that place. It's Officer Nicole Saba. She has been doing a great job. As we went through the hiring process for this position, I kind of immediately knew that she'd do a fantastic job in engaging with the community. So she's been kind of that perfect role for this spot. And then we also hired a community service officer who we also changed the title into a community engagement liaison. Okay. She's a part-time employee, and she is she's going to work with Nicole Saba, but also I've kind of let her kind of come up with some of her own ideas and let her kind of run with some events. Community engagement in my mind is a very important thing nowadays. We need to show positivity with the community, since there's been some negative things that have happened recently. But also internally, I really feel that mental health is very important with our officers, with all the stress that they've gone through. And community engagement efforts are typically a very positive event. And as an officer with Robbinsdale for 20 years, I was engaged in a lot of events, and I'll just say, National Night Out was a huge one. Right. And every time I finished National Night, I felt really good. I felt really positive. I had a smile on my face because that, for those few hours, I was dealing with a very positive community. I was answering positive questions, sure. And just had a really great interaction with the community. Officers nowadays, or officers typically, deal with negativity quite often, and that's also obviously a big stress on mental health and wellness. So, creating positivity for our officers, I think, is really going to benefit them. Yeah,
interesting perspective. You think of it how it benefits the community and engagement with the community, but it does help out the officers. You mentioned events, and that's one of the way community engagement happens. Let's talk about a few that have happened. Sacred Heart School, you had some youngsters come over to the station?
We did. So our community engagement liaison, she put the whole plan together herself. She reached out to Sacred Heart School and said, we want to host an event for the kids. And the initial intention was to have it over into their parking lot where we could go out and engage with the children. Of course, that morning the weather came and it was pouring rain outside.
All right.
So we had to think quickly and react to see where else we could have this event. So I reached out to the fire department, and they were more than happy to move their vehicles out of their fire bay to allow us enough space to have it inside. And it was, for our very first event, just well thought out. The kids had a lot of fun and just created great community engagement with the kids and with Sacred Heart.
Another way to engage is with ice cream. Tell me about Cone with the Cop. This sounds good.
Yes. So we had Cone with the Cop at Dairy Queen. And that, again, our community engagement officer and liaison put together. And they contacted Dairy Queen and talked about these tickets we give away to kids who are wearing their bicycle helmets and other safety features that they do. And so the conversation was, well, could we do something, a little bit bigger than officers just handing out these gift certificates for free ice cream cones? And they came with this cone with a Cop, and one of our officers had heard of a similar event about that in another state. Sure. And so they put that together and advertised it on our new Facebook page, which I'd like people to check out.
Excellent.
And we had, I think they gave away over about 100 free ice cream cones that day.
Fantastic.
So it was a great event. They had beanbag contests with officers. And just a tent for everyone to sit underneath the sun and not get sunburned, and just had really good community engagement with them as well.
Another big engagement event, as always, in August is the Public Safety Open House, and that was very well attended and a lot of people having some fun there. How about looking ahead? Why are these efforts so important, and what will they look like in the future? What are you dreaming up now that might be something down the road in 2022 and beyond?
So, you know, with the community engagement is it is a slow process. We are under we have staffing issues and also an increase in you know, calls for service and other services that we need to provide. But having this slow kind of baby step process kind of gives us an opportunity to go through an event, take a pause, take a look at that event, and see if there's anywhere we needed to improve on or what went really well to kind of continue to plan events moving forward. So we do have events coming up. We have a bingo with a cop potentially we're planning phases for.
Great.
Actually more for the winter time, so we can do that inside.
Sounds good.
And then we have a safety camp we're going to try to work with New Hope Police Department on in the springtime. And so we're just kind of taking the slow process. But again, it's like I said before, it's just such an important time for us to reach out to the community and introduce ourselves and show again people, you know, who police officers are and that we're human beings and that we are here to, you know, serve the public and be part of the public and just engage with the great community that we have.
A lot going on, as you can see, with the Robbinsdale Police Department. So if you want to engage, go to their website, also their new Facebook page
please.
as well. Chief, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for stopping by for the chat.
All right, thank you so much.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.